In the short 2 months that I've had my forever world, I think we've made a lot of really good progress. But to be honest with you, it's time to move on to something bigger, something better, for a big project to kick things off. I'm proud of what we've done. But now, it's time to look elsewhere. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And in this one, as you saw, I just got done doing some upgrades and doing some other things. But I want to say first that I still have this whole mountain here, which I took down all the trees. I chopped down all the trees. I mean, there was a whole forest here, if you've seen in previous episodes. But I kind of just want to get into what I just did in that little time lapse right there, just so I can clarify some things and kind of make sense of what we're gonna do this episode, and then we'll kind of get back into it. Cause I need to make an iron farm if I want to get this whole mountain, like semi-mountain, flattened. It's been a hassle already, but for now we're just gonna see what we've done already. So the biggest thing that I've done so far is actually change the path from path blocks to this like a mixture of andesite, stone bricks, and smooth andesite, I believe. And I personally think it looks really just a lot better because the kind of vibe I'm going for is like a modern day vibe, but still with some fantasy and like RPG kind of inspired aesthetics here. So I think it looks pretty great. Just let me know what you think. As we expand into the city, which you'll see later in this episode, you'll see what I mean in terms of why I did this. It'll make sense once I build out more. But really, the only other big change was kind of what I did with the bushes. I'm trying to see if I can show you. I kind of just, I guess I didn't do it a lot. I just placed some birch leaves and also made them thicker in some areas. So you can see around here where it was kind of like a lot of grass, I made it thicker. Oh, and that's right, I extended the path all the way out over to Beef's tower. So now it goes up to his tower and comes all the way around here. And I'm not going to walk the whole thing, but you get the idea just by seeing it. And that's pretty much all I did in that little time lapse right there, is just basically do all the leaves, fix the path, and then chop down that mountain right there. So, or well, I didn't chop down the mountain, I guess I chopped down the trees on the mountain. But that's all I've really done in that time lapse, as you just saw there. Next, I really need an iron farm. Guys, I chopping down that forest went through so much iron. It is becoming clear that I need an iron farm if I want to survive in here. Those are not very. Oh, hello. Just coming through my portal. That's fine. That's fine. Anyways, yeah, the iron resources are not good. There's plenty of copper. I guess I could use copper, but then I'd really be going at like the rate of a snail. Yeah, man, there's a lot of resources here. I got this is for something later in the episode, so don't worry. Don't worry about the pale oak. Yeah, there's lots of logs. So much wood. Like we're gonna have and dirt. There's gonna be even more dirt. What do you want? Why are you coming next to me, man? Roaming around, creeping around like a weirdo, bro. You better not destroy my crops, or else I'll have to banish you. Let's put it as that. Let's put it as that. I'll have to banish you. Anyways, so next up is building that iron farm and then flattening this whole mountain. And that's kind of some boring stuff, so we're just going to make a little cut And honestly, when I say make a little cut, I'm lying. That was not a little cut. That was a very long cut. That was about two, no, longer than two, 4, 5 days cut. That was a very long cut. But as you can see here, I'm starting, well, I'm trying to make it more hilly. But I've just got these like oblong, weird, like circle hills that I'm placing on top of the flattened terrain that I flattened. And as you guys can probably see in my inventory, I'm a fraud. I'm a fraud. Yeah, I wanted to make an iron farm because I was using iron tools to do that whole thing. And about halfway through it, I realized I don't want to enchant iron tools because I was going to enchant iron tools. I'm like, you know what? Maybe enchants will make this faster. And I'm like, wait, no, it's not. Hold on, sleep. But I said I was never going to use diamond tool. Well, not never, but it was going to be a while before I used diamond tools. But then I discovered just how good they are. I mean, these just like, look at this. Do you know how quickly I got through the dirt? It was taking me days to do the dirt. Literal days. I was mining dirt for days upon days. If I would show you double chests, I had double chests of dirt, but then I had to replace all the dirt because this was all stone right here. So, one thing led to another, but, all the resources kind of compiled up eventually over time. And long story short, I'm a fraud and now I use diamond tools. But hey, moving past that, I flattened out this whole terrain and I realized, hmm, that looks pretty flat. So, what I thought was going to be a good idea is to kind of make these like little bumps in the terrain, but I don't think this looks good. This doesn't look right because it's probably because of the Java texture pack of grass, right? Where it's like just slightly over the dirt down here. But I'm trying to make it like hilly because I'm going to place more farmland here later. But it doesn't really look that good. We'll see what I do with it in time, but that's pretty much all I did here. And question for you, I'm sure everybody noticed. Does this does the campfire under the beehive not work, or is there like a certain block height you have to do, or what's the case here? Because I'm trying to get these beehives, and I thought you had to put campfires under it. So now there's just floating beehives hanging around. There's one over there. I don't know if you barely see it peeking over there. There's floating beehives on top of the super flat hill. But what I did over here is I'm just marking out path. It doesn't go from stone to path. It's not going to be like that. I'm just marking out where I'm going to eventually terraform it into a stone path. But for now, I'm using path blocks. And they come up here and they curve around all the way over there. And I'm not going to walk all the way over there because that's going to take some time. But as you can see, I'm starting to flatten out the terrain right there. And somewhere somewhere within this valley, I am going to build an entrance to the city. The city's going to start there. Now, I don't know how I'm exactly going to do this because I kind of want city sprawl to be. I don't know how to build a city, guys. I'm going to be honest. I need to like search up some methods because the medieval kind of wall vibe isn't what I'm going for with this city. I want it to be like farm, farm. It's going to be farm all the way out here, and then there's going to be a path, maybe even a bridge with a river, which, oh gosh, let's not get into that. Let's just not get into that. That's already terrifying thinking about that. But some kind of bridge, maybe, or I'm going to have to waste so much time flattening out this terrain, which I'm already crying thinking about that. And then it's going to be an entrance. I guess gates don't have to be like walls, right? Right? I don't know. I'm not as professional as a builder as I'd like to be. Anyways, we got all that done. I got the path laid out. I got this whole hill flattened. But there's one more thing that we got to do before we can move on to the start of the city, and that is continuing this very sad field over here. It's kind of humorous how bad it is, but that's the next thing that we gotta do is expand this field all the way up this hill and maybe make this look more hill-like instead of just a circle on top of that terrain. I don't know. I'll see what I can do. And then, yeah, so let's just get started. Well, guys, I gotta say, I'm proud of some of the stuff I've just built, but I'm not proud of replay mod. Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna get into it, but it didn't save most of my replays. So that's why it was kind of just a random, like, jump there in between some of those cuts. But we've got technology, baby. Look at it. I love it. I love some of the builds I did here. So let's just get into it. Let's start off with the obvious one that I'm looking at, the power lines. Man, these are good. These are good. There's a zombie. Oh no. Ow. Ow. Anyways, like I was trying to say, power lines, yes. We're transporting power. It's just some chains and some fences with some fence gates. It's a really simple design, but it looks really great. It just adds some, like, modern-esque-ness. That's not I only have it extending as far as the solar panels on all the things, which I'm going to go over soon, but I'm sure as we expand more out that way, we'll worry more about where they go and where they'll expand, and it'll all make sense. And then they also come down here into the grounds, like to do ground wire over to this building and whatever. But solar panels, these are nice. These are really nice. This is actually a design that I found. I just searched up solar panel, and it's somebody on Instagram named, I think, DePuffin or something like that, and they did an amazing job. Skulk is a genius idea, and then obviously the daylight sensors, which I used to call them solar panels, but they're actually called daylight sensors. So yeah, but this is really nice. It's really all it is. I mean, just with some pale oak as the trim. Yeah, so that's pretty nice right there. Before we head to, you know, the elephant in the room that I'm sure you all are looking at and wanting me to explain, I'm just gonna explain some of the smaller things as I head up to my house real quick. So up here by my house, I added one of these little towers, which I kind of imagined be like a little cell phone tower with red like light flame. I'm trying to make it sound smart and scientific, but honestly, like, I don't know. It's just supposed to be technology, but it's supposed to, you know, have some kind of use. There's that. But these are also more antennas for whatever somebody would need antennas for. Yeah. What's your name? I forgot what I named you. He just barked, but don't worry about him. Anyways, so yeah, these are just things I put on top of like all the different various houses over there, and then I also put one over there. As you can see, there's also a solar panel over by the tower over there. And now let's talk about this one. This is the biggest build, honestly, if you ask me. So it was supposed to be more than just a floating balloon. That's kind of what it is now. It was supposed to be a windmill. If you look in solarpunk art, most solarpunk media has these floating balloon things that, I mean, they look just exactly like that, but there's obviously windmills inside of them. And the reason mine looks kind of funny on the inside is because it's supposed to be redstone. It's supposed to be redstone where it's spinning around like a fan. But it kind of was only doing one of the fans at a time. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just have it kind of propped like it's not working or something. It's made out of entirely pale oak. It's a really nice balloon. I think it fits nice, honestly, in the world. It's just supposed to be a windmill, but it kind of didn't work out how I was supposed to do it, and it's connected slightly weirdly to the tower right there with some glass panes. So pretty much all I added, other than the fact that I changed the fields back here. These took like 30 minutes. I changed that one to like a grass field, and this one to, I don't even know what this flower is called, like lavender or something. It looks like a lavender field. That's kind of the point. But those are the two fields that I just changed, and I think that adding some different color into the world, especially near the where the farms are, just makes a lot of sense logically, and it looks a lot better. Um, Farmers have this thing called crop rotation, which is when you, like, for example, when the next season were to come around, instead of this being a wheat field, it would be a lavender field, and that would be a wheat field, and like so on and so forth. So that's kind of what I'm doing here, but also just to like break up the colors and it's not being wheat everywhere. That's the whole idea. That's pretty much all I built in that time lapse. It's so unfortunate you couldn't see me build it all because I lost all those replays. But hey, it's not the end of the world. You can see it now. You know, that kind of looks like weird the way I have that built. I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about it. I spent way too long trying to get that just right for me to go and fix it. But I'm proud of all the technology that like I've got built out here. It's really nice. I think it kind of just starts defining the world a little bit more because we were still like in a like fantasy like kind of build world where there's like my friends just built their houses and I kind of just went along with it and started building in that style. But now we're like, okay, wait, we're kind of in a modern era with actual technology and maybe even futuristic technology with that kind of balloon up there. I mean, that's really cool if you ask me. I think in the next episode, I'm gonna have to do something about all this. Okay, well, that's a bad example. All this like storage. I have so much stuff. There's just so much stuff. Okay, well, that's not really anything you gotta worry about, but yeah, it's not just leaving all this in chest right there isn't gonna be good. So we're gonna do something about that, I think, in the next episode, and we're gonna start building the city over in that direction. So as the sun sets, I want to tell you guys, thank you for watching this another Minecraft. Was it Monday weekly? I don't remember anymore. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like, subscribe, all the good stuff. You know, comment any ideas if you have anything that would go well in the world that I should build. And then, you know, have a great day. Remember to stay 99. Bye.